Emotions can be overwhelming at the best of times, and in difficult times, they can be too overwhelming to deal with at all. There can be a feeling of, hey, I know I'm experiencing something difficult, but I'm not able to even describe what it is. I have no words for my experience. And when we're not able to verbalize and express our experience, there can be a fear, real anxiety that comes up with this, something telling us, I can't cope with whatever it is that's inside me. This is a theme that's coming up in client sessions a lot right now, so I wanted to take some time to explain what's going on in our physiology when this happens. Emotions are a right brain process. They are driven by our limbic system. They are non-verbal. So when we're young, we develop emotions and we only learn to bring them into our left brain, our prefrontal cortex, rational, logical mind, by having a parent or caregiver show us what they are and offer us language to describe them. And it's through this learning and mirroring process, through parenting and through community and groups, that we learn how to identify, describe, and express and integrate emotions. When an emotion is too much for us to deal with, too dangerous to feel, to express, and to integrate, our bodies are very, very good at protecting us. What happens is the emotion experience is in the right part, in the limbic system of the brain. And when it's too much for our rational, conscious mind to cope with, our left brain is very clever. And what happens is this disconnect or change in the communication strategies between the right and the left brain. The right brain keeps and stores that emotional content, and the left brain turns into this going on with life, protective survival part. So it helps us to continue going. What happens in this case is that the emotional content stays suppressed in the right side of the brain. And many of us can live this way for a very, very long time. We do, however, need to process and integrate that emotional content in order to stay healthy and regulated. When we don't process our emotional content, sometimes there can be an external trigger, and right now the COVID situation is an external trigger for many that activates that old suppressed emotion, and those states of overwhelm and I don't know what I'm experiencing, I've got no words for what I'm experiencing, come to light. To process our right brain material so that it does not become overwhelming like is happening for so many right now, we first need to find some sense of internal resource and safety in order to start to feel those difficult emotions. Now, this is best done through co-regulation. The reason that we haven't been able to access and process the emotions in the first place is because it was not safe to do so. So in these situations when we're very overwhelmed and we cannot identify the emotions, what we really need is somebody to help us do that. When we connect to a safe person, we share their capacity, and it increases our ability to connect to, express, release, and integrate our emotions. Typically when we're children, this would be our mother or our caregiver, and hopefully a greater community. As adults, we don't necessarily have this kind of relationship in play, and that's why sometimes it can be very helpful to connect to a professional that can help you find a safe place to feel into that right brain emotional experience, find words, and integrate it up to the left brain. Then we're going to start that communication between left and right brain really going again, so that what you feel in your right brain can come to the logic awareness of your left brain. And it's when we are able to do that that we're able to safely connect to, express, and integrate our emotions.